Phonetics. Phonology. Phonology is derived from the Greek word phon, which means voice, and logos, which means to study. Phonology deals with the study of sounds, whereas phonetics deals with sounds in general. Phonology deals with sounds of a particular language. Then phonetics. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics that deals with spoken language. It deals with the production, transmission and reception of the speech sound. There are three types of phonetics: articulatory phonetics, acoustic phonetics, auditory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics. It deals with the production of the speech sounds using the speaker's organs of speech. Acoustic phonetics. The branch of phonetics that deals with the transmission of sounds from the speaker to the listener is called acoustic phonetics. Auditory phonetics. It studies how the speech sounds are received and interpreted by the listener. Then airstream mechanism. Speech sounds are produced by using an airstream. It refers to the movement of an air as it is pushed up from the lungs during speech production. There are three types of airstream mechanism: pulmonic airstream, glottalic airstream, valeric airstream. Pulmonic airstream. The airstream starts from the lungs. If the air is pushed out from the lungs, it's called egressive, and if the air is drawn in, it is called ingressive. Glottalic airstream. The glottalics acts as the initiator and the air moves in and out of the pharynx. In it, vocal cords can be also opened and closed. Valeric airstream. In the case of valeric airstream, the back of the tongue is the initiator and the air in the mouth is set in motion. The organs of speech. The organs of our body that help us to speak can be divided into three groups. Each group of human organs that helps people to speak forms a system. The way in which these three systems help us to speak is called the speech mechanism. There are three types of speech system: the respiratory system, the phonatory system, the articulatory system. The respiratory system. The respiratory system consists of the lungs, the muscles of the chest which make the lungs expand and contract, the windpipe, trachea, the two tubes which either the lungs. These two tubes are called bronchi. Each tube is called a bronchus. The lungs are soft bodies situated on either side of our chest. It receives oxygen through the bronchi. These two bronchi join together into one bronchus above the lungs. It joins the windpipe or trachea. When we breathe in, we take the air into the lungs through the windpipe, the bronchus and the bronchi. The process of breathing in is called inspiration. When we take air into our lungs, the muscles of the chest make the lungs expand. The process of breathing the air out of the lungs is called expiration. If it is produced when we expel the air from the lungs, the sound is called egressive sound. All the English sounds are egressive sounds. The phonatory system. The phonatory system consists of larynx and the vocal cords. The larynx is situated in the upper part of the trachea. Inside the larynx are two small structures which look like lips. These are called vocal cords. The space between the vocal cord is called glottis. The vocal cords can be opened or closed. The sounds produced when the vocal cords are wide open are called voiceless sounds, PTK, and the sounds produced when the vocal cords vibrate called voiced sounds, BDG. The articulatory system. The articulatory system consists of a few organs in our head and neck. These organs are called the organs of speech. The organs include lips, teeth, tongue, and the palate. The convex part of the roof of the mouth behind the upper front teeth is called teeth ridge. The tongue is divided into the tip, blade, front, center, and the back. The tip can be easily recognized. These are the position occupied by the different parts of the tongue when the speech organs are at rest. That is when we are not speaking. When we call throat in our everyday language is called pharynx. Behind the pharynx is the back of wall of the pharynx. What we commonly call Adam's apple is called as larynx.
Vowels. A vowel is continuous voiced in the production of sound, in which there is no obstruction in any part of the speech. For example, in the production of the vowel sound E, the air freely passes through the mouth. There is no friction, obstruction, and narrowing. There are 20 vowels in English language, and they are classified into two categories as pure vowels and diphthongs. There are 12 vowels which are pure and 8 which are diphthongs. Pure vowels are those in which there is no change in tongue position. Examples of pure vowels are E, sheep, E, sheep, oo, good, oo, moon, a, bed. Diphthongs. A diphthong is a vowel glide, that is, the tongue moves from one point to another point during the course of its production. One can notice the change while one produces a in high. There are 8 diphthongs in English. Diphthongs are vowel sounds that begin as one sound and blend into another when they are articulated. Diphthongs are sometimes referred to as gliding vowels. Some examples of diphthongs are a, stay, I, fine, oi, boy, ear, ear. Consonants. You can say this as consonant sounds, but in phonetics, these are the speech sounds produced by obstructing or restricting the airflow in some way as it passes through the vocal tract. This obstruction or restriction is caused by the articulatory organs such as the lips, tongue, teeth, or palate. Consonants can be classified based on the various articulatory features such as place of articulation, where the obstruction occurs, manner of articulation, how the airflow is obstructed, and voicing, whether the vocal cords vibrate during the production or not. A few examples of consonants are ip, pen, ib, ball, it, table, it, dog, ick, key, ig, green, if, fire, iv, video, is, see, is, costly, it, thick, it, father. This table clearly explains the picture of place of articulation and manner of articulation of consonants.
Stress. What is stress? Stress means emphasis. As applied to pronunciations, it means some extra force or prominence given to a part of a word. Example, a syllable. While speaking, generally we pronounce certain words at one breath. Some words are pronounced in two parts and the other three or more parts are units or breaths. When a word contains more than one syllable, one of the syllable gets stressed. The stress falls on the syllable that gets stressed. The stress may fall on the first syllable or the second syllable or a third syllable, the case may be. The syllable that receives that stress is marked like in this. A small vertical line just above the stressed syllables is placed. This means that the word invite is stressed on the second syllable. When a noun or adjective stem form a one syllable word, the stress usually stays on the syllable of the original word. To differentiate between a noun or a verb with the same spelling, stress pronunciation changes. In compound ones, two words merged into one, the stress is on the first part. The stress is generally at the end of the words ending in er. Stress usually falls after prefix. Accent, way of pronunciation. Accent is directly detected in speech, but in writing, accent is marked by placing a small vertical bar in front of the syllable which is accented. There are two types of accent, primary and secondary accent. The primary accent is marked by placing a small vertical bar above in front of the syllable that takes prominence. The secondary accent is marked by placing the vertical bar below the syllable. Assimilation. Assimilation is the one of connected speech, how to speak fast. This is often used with native speakers to communicate. Assimilation is a sound change in which some phonemes change to become more similar to other nearby sounds. Types of assimilation. There are different types of assimilation depending on which sounds are altered. A sound can be either be influenced by the sound that comes before it or after it. The types are progressive, regressive. Progressive assimilation. This refers to when a sound is influenced by the sound that comes before it. The S sound is influenced by the previous sound and changes to a is sound. Regressive assimilation. This refers to when a sound is influenced by the sound that comes after it. The N sound is influenced by the following sound and changes to an im sound. Rhythm. Rhythm refers to the length of time between the main stress or accent and look like a musical voice in human feeling. English language. Learning English as a second language is very important to learn how words stress when we use rhythm in each sentences and what for intonation it will be used. There are two types of rhythm. First is stress timed language and the other one is syllable timed language. Intonation. Intonation and stress are closely linked. In fact, it's impossible to dissociate them. They go hand in hand. Intonation is about how we say these things rather than what we say, the way the voice rises and falls when speaking. In other words, the music of the language. There are two types of intonation: falling intonation, rising intonation. Intonation means the way someone's voice rises and falls as they are speaking. Rising intonations means the pitch of the voice rises over time. Falling intonation means that the pitch falls with time. Dipping or fall rise intonations falls and then rises. Peaking or rise fall intonations rises and then fall. Falling intonation example: nice to meet you. I will be back in a minute. Rising intonation example: do you like your new teacher? Do you sell stamps?
Phonetic transcription looks quite unlike a regular orthographic transcription. The transcriber notes the way the spoken words are pronounced using a special alphabet of phonetic symbols. The most common is the International Phonetic Alphabet (IPA). You have probably seen IPA symbols in dictionaries, printed between a word and its definition. It is not obvious how to say if you are not a native speaker, but when transcribed phonetically, each sound in the word is represented by a symbol. Non-English speakers who know how to read IPA can read back a phonetic transcription with the correct English pronunciation even if they don't know the meaning. It is further classified into two categories as phonetics and phonemic transcription. Examples of consonants are ish, shop, is, visual, itch, chips, idj, jam, ich, house, iv, wind, if, fire, iv, video, is, see, is, costly, it, thick, it, father, ip, pen, ib, ball, it, table, id, dog, ick, key, ig, green, in, no, man, ir, right, e, Yes, ing, sing, ill, land. Rules and conventions for transcription. Orthographic symbols or letters of alphabet are not guides for pronunciation. Words have to be transcribed as they are spoken. Do not use capital letters. The end of a sentence is marked by two slant bars. A tone, normally signaled by comma or semicolon, is marked by a single slant bar. The transcription of a word is placed between two slant bars. When there is a doubling consonant, only one symbol is used. Weak forms or words are parts of words that are not stressed. This means they are not pronounced fully while you are speaking naturally. Mark primary accent by placing a double quotation between the stressed syllable and after for secondary stress. Mark intonation, rising tone, falling rising tone, and rising falling tone.